You know how they say one small event can change everything? Well, imagine that on a global scale. A single trade dispute starts to spiral, and suddenly, the whole world order begins to unravel. Old friendships crumble, new powers see their chance, and a chain reaction kicks off that could be reshaping our world as we speak. And that's really the big question we're asking in this explainer. Are we watching a new world order being built? Not with treaties and handshakes, but forged right in the middle of chaos and conflict? Okay, so where did this all begin? Well, it started with a major falling out between old allies. A really nasty trade fight between the US and Europe that went way beyond just dollars and cents. And while these traditional partners were busy arguing, another global giant saw a massive opening, a golden opportunity to step up and expand its own power and influence. But it wasn't just about the money. While everyone was glued to the trade war headlines, a completely different kind of game was being played in the shadows. A dangerous military chess match that could have absolutely devastating consequences. All right, let's really dig into this. The initial spark that lit this whole global fire? A series of incredibly aggressive trade threats coming straight from the United States. And that was the message loud and clear from President Trump. He basically blew past the idea of a 15% limit on tariffs and warned Europe that if they push back, they'd face something much, much worse. Now, this wasn't just some casual threat. It was a line in the sand. And Europe's reaction? Wow. They didn't back down one bit. Instead, they threatened to just rip up all the existing trade deals. We're talking a full-blown economic split. And all this tough talk had real consequences. This wasn't just political theater anymore. It was causing a genuine break. With its biggest partner suddenly so unpredictable, Europe started looking around for more reliable friends. So the first huge domino to fall was Germany, Europe's economic powerhouse. At the exact moment these threats were flying back and forth, the German chancellor got on a plane, not to Washington, but to Beijing, and he brought the CEOs of giants like BMW and Mercedes with him. The signal was unmistakable. Germany was pivoting east. To understand just how huge this shift is, just look at this number. 252 billion euros. That's the value of trade between Germany and China in 2025 alone. This isn't just a small course correction. It's a massive, fundamental realignment of global economic gravity. And here you have it, the bottom line. It's official. In 2025, China knocked the United States out of the top spot to become Germany's #1 trading partner. This isn't a forecast anymore. It's the new reality. The divide wasn't just about money either. After President Trump weighed in on a very sensitive internal issue in France, Paris did something you almost never see between Western allies. They actually cut off official communications with the US ambassador. That is a huge diplomatic breakdown. So, all of this chaos and fighting between old partners created a massive power vacuum on the world stage. And whenever there's a void like that, you can be sure someone is going to rush in to fill it. The numbers here tell a pretty clear story. The biggest losers in this whole shuffle were the ones who started it, the UK and the EU. But the biggest winner, and it's not even close, was China. They played this situation masterfully. And you know who noticed? The financial markets. With the US losing its main weapon, tariffs, investors flooded into China. The Chinese yuan surged to its highest point against the dollar in 3 years. The markets were literally placing their bets on a new economic world leader. But while the whole world was watching this economic drama play out, another major power, Russia, was using the distraction to make its own moves. Not with trade, but with covert ops and military games. This is straight out of a spy movie. European intelligence agencies started uncovering what they call a long-term Russian plan. The allegation is that Russia used legal loopholes in about 12 different countries to buy property, often strategically placed right next to sensitive military bases. The fear is that these aren't just investments. They're pre-positioned hubs for spying, sabotage, and deniable attacks, all designed to test how far they can push NATO. And this brings us to the last and maybe the most dangerous domino of all. With the world looking the other way, a secret deal was made that's about to pour gasoline on the fire in one of the most volatile places on Earth, the Middle East. This number, over $500 million, comes from leaked documents. It's the reported value of a huge secret arms deal signed between Russia and Iran. And this isn't just a routine sale. This is a major strategic investment in a potential conflict. And look at the kind of weapons we're talking about. This isn't old surplus stuff. This is hundreds of modern, shoulder-fired Verba missile launchers and thousands of missiles. These things are specifically designed to shoot down helicopters, drones, and low-flying jets. In a region where controlling the skies is everything, injecting this kind of anti-air weapon is a complete game changer. Now, the official delivery date is supposed to be a few years away, but here's the really scary part. Intelligence sources are suggesting that with tensions so high, there's a good chance an early batch of these weapons could be delivered, well, any day now. That would fundamentally alter the military balance of power in the region overnight. So here we are. The world is in flux. The old alliances are broken, new partnerships are forming, and incredibly dangerous weapons are entering one of the planet's biggest flashpoints. The first domino has already fallen. The real question is, what happens when the rest of them start to topple?